We are 48 schools across 14 cities, but together we are one Shawnee mission, and this is our time to shine.
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Hubbard.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Jeremy Higgins. Thank you all for listening in to this episode of Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up. It's great to be back and on set.
Absolutely. Dr. Higgins, are you tired of the cold?
Yes. Let's get back to some warmer weather.
Over it. I'm over it. I'm over of ice. I'm over the snow. But the temperatures, my goodness, I really need it to be warmer.
I like a good snow. You know this. I like using the snow blower, but the negative 30 wind chill is a little crazy.
Too much.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So on our last episode, we talked with Hallie Vincent at the Seven Stories bookstore in downtown Shawnee, which was so amazing and such a great story for one of our high school students. And I might mention a 14-year-old high school student to boot, right?
Impressive young lady.
Absolutely. So just a quick reminder to shop the bookstore and give some love to Hallie and her amazing work that she's done as a high school student. And just looking at our data at the end of first semester in regards to real world learning, our seniors are really making great progress. And so excited to see where that senior class lands with having a market value asset. So I know they're working hard. So just a quick shout out to all you seniors out there to keep working hard on those MVAs and find those things that you love. That's what it's all about.
And it's been impressive. I've noticed not only Hallie, obviously cool story, but we've got a lot of entrepreneurs across the district and students in younger grades doing a lot of different business ideas. It's really impressive to see. So shout out to all those students who have found something and are plugging away and selling their goods. It's been really cool to see.
It is. So we have two guests with us today, and so we're going to move forward to this episode, which is all about the SMAC PTA, which is also the Shawnee Mission Area Council. That's what it stands for. And the SMAC PTA runs a clothing exchange. And so today we're going to focus on that and just a little bit about what SMAC PTA is all about. So I would like to welcome our guest. We have Jean Baucom and Summer Saunders. So I think I would like to just start by asking the two of you to tell us a little bit about yourselves, and if you have kids in the school district, absolutely share a little bit about that, and what landed you on a local PTA, or what landed you in your position that you currently hold. So Summer, I'm going to let you kick us off.
My name is Summer Saunders. I am SMAC president this year. I started out PTA 15 years ago as a kindergarten mom, and the reason I got started in PTA was because I wanted to be there for picture day to make sure that my kiddos' hair looked good for their picture.
That's
that's my why. But all my children have gone through Neiman Elementary. I've had two that went through Trail Ridge Middle School, and I've had one that's gone through Northwest, was a 2022 graduate, and now I have a junior at Northwest, and my 7th grader is now at Hawker.
Nice. Awesome. Obviously, you might have done it for the hair initially, but 15 years later, you have to have more to your why, would be my guess.
And I'm a product of the district. I went to Neiman and Antioch and Northwest. But I just remember PTA there and all the fun activities that we did. And those are just memories that lasted me up until, having kids myself. So I just wanted to be sure that, I was able to be a part of that for my kids too. So
great story. All right, Jean, how about you?
Hi, my name's Jean Baucom. I have a daughter who is a sophomore at Shawnee Mission West this year, and I kind of fell into PTA backwards, I would say. It was actually my husband who was extremely involved in PTA. We were 5 days into our kindergarten year at Sunflower Elementary, and he announced to me that he was headed to the PTA meeting, and I said, great, have a good time with that. And then several years later, I left my corporate job and said, all right, I got to find something that scares me, that challenges me. And I said, oh, that would be an elementary school. And truly, that first day of volunteering, I had to sit in the parking lot for a little bit, take some deep breaths, calm down, and I've been there ever since. So we've gone through Westridge Middle School and now at West. And I've just really become very passionate about volunteering at the community level. And I think, where our kids are spending the majority of their day and a huge part of their lives at their local school is the best place to step in and do that volunteering.
It's a very powerful why. So good stuff there. So as Dr. Hubbard mentioned, this episode we want to focus on one piece of the work that the SMAC PTA does, and that's the clothing exchange. So some of our listeners, probably most of our listeners, maybe don't have any knowledge about the clothing exchange whatsoever, and this is kind of their first time hearing about it. So would you guys share with our listeners and with us just a little bit about the clothing exchange and how it's set up, where it's set up, and kind of what the purpose of it is?
You bet. This program amazes me. Every time I walk in the door, I'm kind of overwhelmed at some point about how much this program does. And it started, from what we can tell, somewhere over 40 years ago in some format, whether it was a closet somewhere or now we're in a gymnasium. PTA is here to support every child, and that means hopefully every child walks into school in the morning ready to learn. And some of those most basic needs are what those kids need to be ready to learn in the morning. So whoever those wonderful people were many years ago, they decided to put together a clothing closet of some kind. It's now called the Clothing Exchange, and it's a totally free service to any family that lives in the Shawnee Mission School District. We have clothing there from infant to adult. Our main focus is on school-aged kids, school-appropriate clothing, so that's K through 12, which again is pretty little to pretty large as well. And it's open for anyone to come in and utilize that service. We're open 1 day a week, going back and forth between an evening shift and a morning shift to catch different schedules for families. And they receive bags when they come in the front door. They can put whatever their family needs immediately in those bags and can come back as often as they need to. So the fact that it's a completely free service, that you don't have to fill out any paperwork to qualify, just makes it very accessible to everyone. We're located in the Early Childhood Center over off of 83rd Street. It's been a remarkable place for us to live. It's centrally located within the district and easy to get to, and we have an amazing space there. So.
That's really awesome. So the word exchange to me thinks that you get a lot of donations from probably families also in the Shawnee Mission School District and employees and whoever else might want to donate. I'm curious, Summer, what role does SMAC PTA play in the exchange in regards to not just the area council, but the however many 49 PTAs that we have? Do they play a role in the exchange?
Yes. So SMAC itself is just above all the local units. We're there to support them. It's their next step before state PTA. We ask our units to pay dues, basically. So they pay dues to SMAC and they pay dues for the clothing exchange. We ask for a minimum of $65 per unit. That helps us pay for socks and underwear.
And why are socks and underwear so important? One of you want to talk about that?
I love this program. I mean, the clothing exchange in and of itself, just free clothing for the entire family is pretty amazing. But on top of that, years ago, our predecessors found that in themselves to start the free sock and underwear program. And what this program does is it provides 5 pair of brand new socks and brand new underwear to any child enrolled in the Shawnee Mission School District each semester. So twice a year, a family can come in, fill out a very short form indicating what kind of sizes they need for what age children, and we can provide them with those items. And any of us who have had kids, man, those elementary ages, they're just growing out of everything left and right, sometimes within a couple of weeks. And again, back to those very basic needs, just to make sure that kids are showing up to school comfortable and ready to learn, 5 pair of brand new socks and brand new underwear have just been a real lifesaver to so many families in our district. And I see that week after week where they are just so grateful, so thankful, and prepared to know that the district is here to help them.
One thing I wanted to highlight was obviously for this program to work, the clothing exchange. Donations are obviously a big part of that, and as I was going through the space, reflecting on that myself, and I'm like, well, I donate things, maybe on a couple times a year basis, and why am I not bringing them here to the district where I work and providing? Why take it to Savers? I can just do it here. So I think I want to give a kind of a plug to any of the employees in the district. If you're like me that have donations that you do on a regular basis, we have someone here, the clothing exchange, that would gladly take them. Again, the Early Childhood Center off 83rd Street, you could drive around the back to door number 7. There's actually a donation bin outside the door. You don't even have to go inside to drop off your donation, and it goes to our families here in our district, to our kids, which is just it's a really great thing. So that was eye-opening for me as an employee, and I want to shout out and hopefully encourage our employees to take advantage of that as well.
Absolutely. As far as the clothing goes, it's 100% donated. We don't go out and purchase any, pants or shirts or anything like that. Everything comes through our door as a donation. So, and I would even venture to go ahead and let people know our donations are a little bit on the lesser side this year than what they have been in years past. So we do encourage, as you're cleaning out your closets, especially your children's closets, and I say that all the way through their senior to college years, to just bag those things up, bring them on over. We are more than glad to accept those things. Now, we do only hand out clothing and clothing type accessories. So we occasionally get some miscellaneous household items. We find another great partner to move those things onto. But yeah, as you're looking at your closets, your coat closets, especially this time of year, if you've got a new coat for Christmas and maybe it's time to thin out a couple of the older ones, more than glad to take those off your hands.
I'm glad you mentioned the coat, because I noticed that when we were walking the space earlier today that there was a coat room, but then there was also this other room that talked to us a little bit about the prom dresses and the work clothing, because I think that's really important, especially as we talk about real world learning for our high school students that might not have those types of clothing needs.
Right. So another one of just a great benefit that we've been able to start to build, and it is still in the building process, is we have what we call the fun room. It is the prom room. We have a fantastic selection of special occasion dresses and suits and sports coats and dress shirts, dress pants for gentlemen, as well as we're building a selection of interview type wear. So we've got a lot of both, parents of children in our community, as well as our students who are going out into the workplace and just need to have clothes that are appropriate for that environment. To be able to provide that on top of just their regular clothes that they're wearing to school each day is a real bonus, and just really excited to be able to bring that to the community.
Great. So if I ask you, what are the most important things about the exchange that our community, our staff, people listening today could help us with in regards to that program?
Yeah, for sure. The one thing I always say I need more of is shoppers. Just awareness of the program on all levels, whether it's your family is in a situation where they need a little bit of extra help right now, or if you have the ability to help us. Awareness is definitely our biggest thing. Beyond that, I always say I need 3 things. I need donations, because without donations I don't have anything to hand out. I do need just a little bit of money. I need to buy cleaning supplies. I occasionally need to buy socks and underwear that maybe haven't been donated in the right size range that we need right now, or I need a piece of equipment purchased to to fill in for racks and that sort of thing. And the third thing that I need are hands. I can have all the donations and financial support that I can get my hands on, but if I don't have other people's hands to help me get it into the world, into the hands of the people who need it, none of it does any good. So we really do rely on our volunteers. No one at the Clothing Exchange is paid for their services. It's 100% volunteer time. All of our PTA units come at least one shift throughout the school year. That's a fantastic support. They just have always been so supportive of this program, and as well as a wide variety of other people. We just have community people who love the program and come in, and another great resource for volunteers are our high school students, middle school students who are looking for service hours. I am more than glad to fill out those service hour forms. And they're some of our greatest workers. We really appreciate them coming in, and they seem to love coming and doing it as well. So we have groups of students who come in, friends who are trying to check off those hours.
There you have it, students. There's no excuse not to
no
have those
excuse.
NHS hours or whatever else. We got a great resource right here that you can get those volunteer hours taken care of.
100%.
I also, just a real quick, I noticed that we have some post-high students that are working there and are gaining those life skills. They're so crucial for their needs moving forward after they leave us and enter into society and being able to give back. So it's just great to see them and the paraeducators that are there working beside them and supporting them. And I know they're a great value too.
Absolutely. We were so excited to be able to start that relationship. There's just a lot of busy work that needs to take place to keep the space in working order. And those of us who were volunteering were starting to get a little bogged down with just trying to get the donations processed, run the shopping day, that sort of thing. And when they stepped in, they just lifted so much stress off our shoulders. Meanwhile, providing them with a very safe space in the district to come and get some really important job skills. And so they've just been an absolute lifesaver for us, and hopefully we provide them with what they're looking for as well.
Yeah. As we start to wrap up, if anyone out there wanted to learn more about the Clothing Exchange or SMAC PTA in general, any recommendations on where they could go to get information?
Go to smac-pta.org.
Perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
So again, just recapping, I think I heard you say that donations are important. That's really important. So all of you out there that are cleaning out closets, we can help our own families right here in Shawnee Mission by making those donations to the exchange. And then one thing we haven't really talked about that I thought is, it's just an interesting concept, but when families come in, they receive 5 bags to shop with that day. So, 30 to 45 families a week times 5 bags, they add up really quickly. So donations of just your old grocery bags are something that's just so simple that SMAC could absolutely use your help with. I heard a little bit of money. That's probably the least of it. I mean, if we have all the donations in place, the money is less important, but even if you just wanted to make a small monetary donation, that would be awesome. And then the third thing are volunteers. Always looking for volunteers to help out.
For sure, for sure. We do not have a lack of space. We can find any job for any skill level, and we even love having our younger students come in. We've got great jobs for younger elementary age kids. They sometimes come in with their guardians or parents, and we have some really fun things for them to do as well. So just becoming involved in your community has just become such an important part, I think, in today's day and age, like making a difference at the ground level, which is what PTA is about, making that difference at the ground level all the way up to the national level, and that's what we can do here with our own community.
Well, Jean, Summer, thank you guys so much. Number one, for being here today, taking some time out of your schedules to chat with us, but also everything that you guys are doing with SMAC and the Clothing Exchange. Very, very much appreciated and very impactful. So
your service definitely does not go unnoticed. So we do both very much appreciate you and all of the volunteers with SMAC PTA and our local PTAs that do so much work for our students.
For sure. I'd love to end that with, we thank the district so much We have had such unbelievable support from our district administration. Like I said, this has existed in some form, for over 40 years. We couldn't do that without the district providing us a space to do that with. We would not be able to go out and find our own building to run this program. So that kind of support, and then also the building support. Mrs. Heinz and Dr. Neal, who run that program there, they have just welcomed us with open arms, and we can't put a number on that. That kind of support has just been unbelievable. It's greatly appreciated.
I think this is a great wrap up of a true team 512 and being one Shawnee Mission. And we really pride ourselves in being one Shawnee Mission. And this is a great example of that. It takes all of us to make this program work. So thank you again.
100%.
I just want to remind everyone that new episodes of Shawnee Mission Mic'd Up drop every 2 weeks. So we'll be back in a couple weeks. If you want more information about it, you can find us at smsd.org. And we are always looking for story ideas, and yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes that helps make this this podcast what it is. So definitely a shout out to everybody. Our quote for the week comes from Justine Edward. You can overcome whatever is going on around you if you believe in the light that lives within you.
All right. So thanks for joining us, and until next time, shine on, Shawnee Mission.